Hello everybody, and welcome to my first ever draft analysis video. My name is Gareth, or Gamma1992, and yeah, this is my first ever draft analysis. I've been doing draft leagues for a few years now. I'm not, the best ever, but I do have quite a bit of experience. I'm actually running this league that I'm in right now, the MPBP, or Major Pokemon Battling Premiership. And in this league, we do allow some Ubermons, not like anything absolutely asinine like Arceus and that, but you'll see. Um, but yeah, I had the second overall pick. And in this league, we have 3 Z captains. Baton Pass is fine as long as it's not speed. Open Z as long as it's not Omni Boost or Evasion Boost. And yeah, that's pretty much all the rules. We get 12 Mons instead of the standard 11, which I thought is a bit interesting. It makes team building a little bit more, gives it that little bit extra edge to it. But yeah, so I did the second overall pick, and with the second overall pick, I picked up Kyogre. Kyogre is a phenomenal Pokemon. It has insane stats. This is one of my 3 test mons I allowed for this season. You should see. I'll just say it right now. The other 2 are Mega Mewtwo X and Groudon. But Kyogre, second overall. This is one of my Z captains as well. I took it because it is just such a phenomenal wall breaker in its own right. It sets up the rain for rain boosted moves. The orbs are banned, just in case anyone decides to ask. The orbs are banned. But yeah, it can set up weather, the rain. It has incredible stats, like base 150 special attack is insane, 140 SPDEF is insane, even base 100 HP and attack is really good. Its speed is a little lackluster for being, one of the box art legendaries, but I guess if they had to make something low stats wise, speed was one of the things it would have to be. Its coverage is just insane. Like, you can run physical with Iron Head, Liquidation. You can run Rock Slide, Earthquake, the standard special with like Surf or Origin Pulse, I guess, Thunder, Calm Mind, Ice Beam. Like, it has all the moves, or Scarfed even with Water Spout in the rain. That's gonna hurt. It gets T-Wave for some utility substitute. Roar. Like, the thing is amazing, and I was really happy to get it second overall. And you'll see as my draft goes on that there's a reason why I took it second overall. But yeah, so there was 12 teams total. So I had to go, it's standard snake style draft, so I had to go all the way down and all the way back. And this was sitting in tier 1 still. Not sure how it managed to make its way back to me, but my second Z user out of my 3 is Hoopa Unbound. I wanted something that could be insanely powerful, and this was it. This thing has insane breaking power on both the physical and the special side. 160 attack and 170 special attack is absolutely insane. Like, there's not many other Pokemon in the entire game that have those kind of stats on both of its attacking stats. And again, this is one of my other Z users, so it has so much things it can do just to nuke something outright, and its coverage is asinine. Like, Gunk Shot for fairies. It gets knockoff or Hyperspace Fury for the physical side. For the special side, Dark Pulse, Psychic, Energy Ball. It gets Focus Miss. It also gets Thunderbolt. And it even can be a Trick Room setter too. Maybe Trick Room in the future, I don't know. But yeah, it has a lot of interesting things it can do, like Z Skill Swap or Z Snatch. That fixes its speed issue. Yeah, it's obviously 4 times weak to one of the most common pivot moves in the game being U-turn. So gotta patch that up later, which I did end up doing quite well actually. Being weak to fairy. But yeah, I really love my first 2 picks. They are amazing in my mind to start a draft off. Just the raw power they have. Plus, they're very specially bulky, both of them. Like, they're very specially bulky. Like Kyogre 140 and Hoopa 130, those are really insane special defensive stats. But yeah, so moving on to my 3rd pick, since I was the semi-wheel, I decided to grab Ferrothorn. This is my first time ever using Ferrothorn. I've always kind of steered away from it because the LOL 4 times weakness thing, but the thing is stupidly bulky. And especially if like Rain's up from Kyogre, like the thing just eats fire hits. And everyone knows what Ferrothorn does. It sets up rocks, it sets up spikes, knockoff, Gyro Ball, Leech Seed, Power Whip. It has some interesting other things it can do too. It gets Thunder Wave, Toxic. You can even run like a block Toxic rest set to just destroy something if you really want to be that person. It gets Curse as well for setup. But I like it. It's my first rock setter. It's my first extra hazard setter, which is spikes, T-spikes, and or sticky webs. I really like it. I think it'll function well on this team. It does sponge physical hits really well with that 131 defense. And it has a moderately decent attack set too at 94. Very low speed, but hey, trick room potential possibly. So moving on down to my next pick, I waited all the way and then all the way back, and I decided to grab Kingdra as my dragon. So as you're starting to see, there's a bit of a rain theme, starting to form, which that was my plan from the beginning. I wanted to draft rain for the first time, and since we decided to allow Kyogre as a test, just to see how it does this season, I wanted to draft rain. I was hoping I got a good pick for it. I did, and I got it. But the thing is just incredible. Water Dragon means it has very few weaknesses. Its only weakness is really Dragon and Fairy. That's it. Which my team so far, Ferrothorn, really doesn't care about either. But the thing can be a Swift Swim Sweeper, it can be a Sniper, Crit Dressette, Flash Cannon for Fairies, Dragon Dance if we want to run physical. The thing's move pool is really good. And it has really solid, good stats to work with. But yeah, not much more to say about Kingdra. Everyone knows what it does. It's a solid mon. And then, so this was my 4th round pick. So I waited for my next pick on the semi-wheel. I decided to grab some support. One of the best support mons, Silvally, and all types, by the way. This thing offers me a very reliable defogger. It offers me any type I need in a pinch. It offers me parting shot support, which is one of the best things about this thing that I can ask for. Like parting shot into Hoopa, parting shot into Kyogre is just insane. Sorry, my phone going off. But yeah, this thing's move pool is just, you can't ask for a better move pool on a mon that's in tier 3. It even gets, heal block if you want to run that kind of stuff. But yeah, parting shot, defog. It gets U-turn as well if you're gonna predict those magic coats or magic bounces for abilities, or taunt. So it can do a lot of stuff, and it can even Swords Dance as well. So it can be a pretty okay sweeper. And 95 across the board is just really, really good. So for my next pick, which would be my 6th round pick, waited all the way down, all the way back, and decided to grab a fire type that would do well in a rain style setting, and that would be Moltres. Moltres is a phenomenal special wall breaker. 125 attack with Stab Hurricane never missing in the rain is very, very nice. It also has its Fire Stab as well. Very good choice Scarfer. I didn't make this one of my Z users simply because I had another one in mind that I liked a little bit more. But the thing gets Hurricane, Heat, Fire Blast. It gets Reliable Recovery in Roost or Morning Sun. It gets U-Turn. It has a lot of utility as well. But I really like the Fire Chicken. I think it's going to perform well for me. And Flame Body as well as an ability is really nice. This thing is one of my primary U-Turn responses. If you want to click U-Turn, you're going to risk getting burned against my Hoopa. Yeah, and it's also another defogger, even though it's not the best defogger in the world if rocks are up. But it does offer some good support for the team, which I like. Alright, so my next round pick, my 7th round pick, I decided to grab my fairy. By this time, most of the fairies were gone, or the good ones anyways, or they were out of my point range where I felt comfortable spending points on them. So I decided to pick up Comfey. Comfey actually offers some really good support to the team. Its triage ability makes all of its support, like healing moves, have priority, which is amazing. And then it also can be a sponge for status, which a lot of people don't seem to really pick up on. Natural Cure is a really cool hidden ability. It can switch in to Toxics, Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Waves, and then just switch out. Meaning you don't have to waste a slot on Aromatherapy. You can, obviously, but you don't have to if you're running a more offensive team. It also gets Defog, so another good defogger. So I have a lot of good hazard clearance options so far. And then the standard stuff. It gets Giga Drain for recovery, Draining Kiss for recovery, Tailwind for support, Taunt. It gets another Trick Room Setter. Has some solid stats as well, like 100 speed, 90 defense, 110 SPDF. It's really bulky. HP is a little low, but that's okay. And as a okay move, like it gets Leech Seed, like a fairy type that gets Leech Seed, like come on. Like that's really good. Its physical move pool isn't exactly great, but I don't expect to ever be using that unless it's a meme match. Now also, it's one of the only mons to get both Misty Terrain, I believe, and Grassy Terrain. Yeah, Grassy Terrain, and where's the other one? Grassy Terrain. Maybe it doesn't get that one. Maybe I was wrong. But still, it gets Grassy Terrain for a non-grass type, which I think is really cool. If I want to like stop Earthquake spam and give my grounded mons a good bit of extra chunk of recovery. So that's my that was that pick. I like it. It'll offer some good support and even potential sweeping potential, Calm Mind, Draining Kiss. It also gets U-Turn as well, so another U-Turn mon for me, which Moltres and Silvally get. But my next pick is probably one of my best picks I could have taken at the round that I got it in. My round 8 pick, Cophagrigus. This thing is a tank. Its HP stat is low, but its defense and SPDF is really good. Another Trick Room Setter. This thing stops physical sweepers in its tracks for the most part, unless you're Fire type. You know what it does. Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Destiny Bond, Haze, Hex. It gets Knockoff. Gives me my first Toxic Spike setter as well. And it gets Memento as well, which can come in clutch. You know you're about to die. Send off Memento and then bring in something powerful like Kyogre or Hoopa. This thing is going to be one of my glue to my team, and I love it. Gotta make this thing shiny. But yeah, and it can also Nasty Plot or Calm Mind sweep itself. So it has. If you're noticing a trend to my team, it's all things that can tank hits, but can also deal back quite a bit of damage themselves. So yeah, I really, really like Coffee Grigus, and I was so surprised when I saw it still sitting there. So my next round pick, I picked up my tier 5 because some of the tier 5s were going, and I wanted to secure this right now. Aridos. I know it gets some hate as being this dumb bug that just gets sticky webs, but in Gen 7 they gave it a SPDEF boost, and I believe a little bit of an HP and attack boost. I'm not entirely sure, but I know they increased its overall stats. And this thing does get sticky webs, yes, but also gets its signature move, Toxic Thread, which lowers the target speed by 1 and poisons it. And it gets Toxic Spikes. But Toxic Thread can be a really clutch move because you're worried about something trying to set up in your face with like Dragon Dance or Quiver Dance. You just spam Toxic Thread until they kill you, and then they basically gained no speed out of it. So it's really nice. It also gets Baton Pass for momentum. It also gets Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch, which is cool. Also gets the buffed Leech Life and Lunge, which is really good. Really stops physical spammers from being able to boost their attack as well with a Lunge. Also gets Refresh. I didn't know it got Refresh before. It also gets Stomping Tantrum too, thanks to Usum, which helps versus Steel types, which it didn't really have to be able to hit them well before, which is really good. Yeah, this isn't, the most amazing thing in the world, but it can do something. It's one of the better sticky web setters in tier 5, in my opinion, because it doesn't have a 4x weakness and it has utility other than just webs. So that's why I picked up Aridos. I wanted to just secure it, help my team speed when not in rain, and just be a grounded poison type to sponge opponents' T-spikes. Something else to note. And now you're going to see the rest of my rain core kind of function, kind of come to fruition. So with my 10th round pick, I picked up Kabutops and my 3rd Z user. Now Kabutops is an incredibly powerful Swift Swim abuser. 115 attack, stab, water moves in the rain are gonna hurt. And this thing's move pool is insane. Z Aquatail in the rain, just incredible power. It also gets knockoff, and it also gets liquidation if you don't want to run the risk of missing, which is only 5 base power less. But yeah, this thing's move pool is great. It gets Swords Dance, so you set up a Swords Dance, and then you just go to town. X Scissor. This thing is a monster. It's an absolute beast. Also gets battle armor, so if you're running it in a non-rain setting, no crits, not terrible. Also gives me another stealth rock setter and my first rapid spinner, which you don't want to rely on this thing to rapid spin, but it is an option if I need to, which in the rain can be really good. Boost my speed so that I can get the guaranteed rapid spin off. I really like that option. Yeah, that's my 3rd Z user, and I'm really looking forward to using Kabutops. This is my first time using it. Now moving on to my 11th round pick, I decided to grab another Gloomon to my team. And another potential rain option, although it's not going to be my primary one. I picked up Seismitoad. This thing is awesome. Because I'm going to be having rain a lot, I needed something that could sponge those water moves, unless you have Mold Breaker or similar abilities. This thing's really bulky, is really reliable. Stealth Rock, Scald in the rain, Knock Off, Earth Power, Earthquake. It has solid coverage options all over the place. Oh, gotta make this thing shiny. All hail the Hypnotoad. But yeah, 74 speed, not bad. 95 and 85 attacking stats is pretty good. 105 HP though is really nice. And this thing is just going to be really, really solid for my team. It's gonna add a very important option to my team, which is a ground type. But yeah, I really, really like it. Also Drain Punch too, so it gets some kind of recovery. So my 12th round pick, which again, like I said earlier, we get 12 mons instead of 11. I didn't grab the standard Mega Swampert. And there's a specific reason for that. I didn't want to have a 5th water type. Or 4th. No, yeah, 5th. I didn't want a 5th water type, and I preferred Seismitoad's ability to be a water sponge than Swampert's ability to sweep. So I grabbed something that I needed badly, which was just pure physical wall breaker besides Hoopa. And I grabbed Mega Heracross. This thing is insane. 185 attack. That is absurd. And with Skill Link to make sure all of those Bullet Seeds, Rock Blasts, and Pin Missiles hit is just unreal. And the fact that this thing is so bulky as well, like I have stuff that can take on its Psychic weakness or its Flying weakness. Because in rain, it loses its fire weakness. So that's really, really awesome. But yeah, this thing is just an incredibly powerful wall breaker. And I'm really, and it's also really bulky too, and I'm really happy to have it. Like, I was really heavily considering maybe something like Mega Sceptile, second dragon type, but gives me Lightning Rod, or the Mega Swampert originally, but I saw Mega Heracross, and I saw how powerful it was, and I had to have it. Especially with the webs option here. This thing, 75 speed isn't great, but if I get those webs up, this thing just can come in and just claim a kill. Basically every time. This thing shreds bulky shit, which I love. You set up a bulk up and you just go in. Like, the thing is a monster. I'm really happy to have it. So yeah, that's my entire draft. I'm really happy with my team. I wasn't really sniped that I can remember. Everything kind of just fell into place. I'm really happy with it overall. So yeah, this is my Season 3 Major Pokemon Battling Premiership Draft Analysis. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you with my Week 1 battle in about a week. Later.